Well, I kept trying to do a lot of things. I kept being busy, and I had a lot of things started and not much finished. And everything was just piling up around me and just getting more and more. I didn't know where to start with it because there was just seemed to be something that was just missing from everything. And I couldn't get anything finished, so I couldn't get the results that I was looking for in different areas of my life. So it was only after the sessions, those particular sessions, more significantly, that the last 6 weeks or so have seen huge changes in everything that I'm doing. I've been able to get a heck of a lot finished. So everything that I had sitting around that was half done and incomplete has been completed to the most extent. I've gone out and connected with people, which probably for 12 months before that, I kept giving myself excuses as to why I couldn't go out and do what I wanted to do, that I couldn't go out and do my business because of COVID or whatever else. COVID really is just an excuse in Australia to most extent, because we're not like most other countries. And whilst there's been certain times when we haven't been able to do things, there's a lot of things that we have had a lot more freedom to do. So it was excuses that I had. And there was something that was happening probably before this last 5 weeks that we've been working. We had done a couple of things, I think about a month or so before that, and I had to create I was asked to create a masterclass, and I've never done anything like that before. I had no idea how to do it. And it was I was been trying to create a workshop for months and months and months, and just couldn't work out how to put it all together. And for some reason, this masterclass just came effortlessly after we'd worked on a couple of issues earlier in December. And then we did the worthless and sabotage early January, or no, I think it was New Year's Eve, or just a couple of days before the end of the year. And then I started consciously doing things differently from the 1st of January. And there's so many things that have happened in this last month, which has been a real eye-opener to me, because it's just been so effortless. I've finished. I had to do a couple of follow-up things for the masterclass, and I just did them like that. They were just so easy to do. And things that I'd struggled with I think I struggled for a week trying to just record some stuff. Like I wanted to throw it out the window, and it just was so easy after. I'm thinking, why was that so easy? But just connecting with people and being proactive in what I want to do to create my life has just been so much easier since we've done those issues. It's everything has just been effortless. I'm experiencing a lot more success in the things that I've wanted to get done. So I've had, as far as, and it's come from a lot of different angles. So I want to make a success of a business that I started, and that has been a really slow burn for 12 months. And all of a sudden it's starting to come together, because I've finally been able to take the action to step out the door and go and meet people. So last weekend I had 2 events that I went to. One I knew I was going to, and it was a networking event with women that resulted in a number of bookings for workshops and things for me to do. It resulted in a couple of new clients and a lot of connections with people, and even just everything that I put together, it all just, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. And it all just came together really easily. I felt confident going there and talking to everybody. I didn't feel like the odd one out, that I didn't belong, even though I'm now older than most of the other people in the audiences. And I was aware of that. In a way, it was actually nice, because they looked at me as if I had some wisdom, And that was a nice way to look at it as well. So that happened. And then the week before, there was an opportunity to connect with a new group of women that had just started. And I would generally hold back. And I went along to it, and we sat and talked. We were supposed to have lunch, and we sat and talked for 6 hours. Nobody ate. And it was just a really lovely afternoon that I made other connections, friendship-wise and business-wise, which I wouldn't have done. And on the really good side of it, I've been procrastinating for years, absolute years, and I'd start to try and eat better and do exercise and things like that. And I would get partway through the day. Usually I'd last till lunchtime maybe. And then come lunchtime, I'd either not eat my lunch, and then I'd just scoff out at the end of the day and just not finish. And I'd always choose the nasty options of, a packet of chips or a chocolate or whatever, and then be too full to eat anything decent. And now it's just effortless. It's just happens that I don't think about anything other than nice food too. And when I say nice, it's healthy food that I'm eating. And that's been 5 weeks now. It's not an effort one little bit to do that. It's like I'm being pushed away from the kitchen or the bad food bar if I'm going near it. It's just I just take a step forward in that direction. Then I think, no, I don't need that. And I'll go and do something else. And it's been really liberating to be like that and see all these changes in all parts because of this word sabotage and worthless. It was, can it work? Can this really work? Is it real? Can it be that easy? And it can be. It can be really super easy. Even in my body, in a very short time, I felt, my ankles weren't swollen. I was really consciously aware of that after about a week, I realized that wasn't happening in the hot weather, they weren't swelling up and looking like elephant feet. It was really quite bewildering how it was happening, because I'd actually been to a doctor about that and nothing was done. And this just happened. It just happened when I started to have healthy choices. And I would have the healthy food in the fridge before and I would let it rot. For some reason, it was, it was that sabotage thing, was like the healthy stuff was there. I really enjoy eating it. I do. But I'd come home and it was so much easier to grab a packet of chips. So I would sabotage everything that I prepared in the fridge that was sitting there waiting for me just as easy. But for some reason, what was I holding on to? I don't know. It was all, at the end of the week, I'd throw all this, what was healthy food, in the bin because it had rotted and I'd eaten all this rubbish. So I'm really aware of the changes in my body as well, so quickly and effortlessly, just from this word sabotage. And
well, you look amazing. You're radiant.
Thank you.
And this is only our first, going into our second month.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see where it's going, because this is 30 years. This is 30 years that I've struggled with my weight. Well, it's more than that. It's actually more than that, Maggie, because I remember when I was a kid, I always thought I was fat. Always thought I was fat. And that was my belief in me. And when I look back on those photos now, I wasn't. I was just normal. But I had this belief that I was, and as I went on in life, I was always the taller girl. So I was always the bigger person, and I never wanted to be seen. So I retreated back and everything. And then after my divorce, the weight just piled on. I buried my head in the sand. I didn't want to admit everything that was happening. I felt like I was a loser. I felt like, how could I not have a marriage that would work? How could I not have, that family that everyone else seemed to have? How could I not deserve this life that everybody else has got. That's what I was, I could see everybody else have it, and I'd lost it all. And then because of that, those beliefs, I worked so hard that I chose the easy options for eating, and the weight just kept piling on and on and on. And the more I looked to try and lose it, I was looking at a diet, but I wasn't looking at my beliefs in myself. And it's only until I looked at the beliefs in myself and what I think about me, that has led me to here. But like, that's put the weight that I've put on over those years it's embarrassing to know what I've got to, and it's going to take a while to get rid of it. But it's been a long time in the making. But I can see now, finally, I can see that I can get down to what is a healthy weight. And it seems to be in an effortless way now, because I'm starting to believe in myself a bit more.
Beautiful.
I think occasionally at the moment, is this going to last? But I honestly have no thought in my head of why it would stop now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what I'm doing now. This is just the way I am now. The same as that was the way I was 8 weeks ago. I'm not that now. I'm different. That's something that's been important, I think, for me, because a lot of the time I'll just try and do it on my own, because I've been so embarrassed about my weight and the situation that I put myself in, that to go and speak to somebody, I haven't felt comfortable in even revealing what my weight was, although you can clearly see. You could clearly see what it was. I didn't want to reveal that. I probably didn't want to even verbalize it, whereas now, having this relationship with you, and having someone that I feel comfortable in, that's checking in on me, and I can check in on and ask questions. It's just a really nice way of allowing me to remain focused on making these changes in a conscious way, even though during the day I'm unconsciously doing all of this stuff. Now I have this conscious knowledge that you're there, that I can check in with if something happens, or just to confirm if what I'm doing is in the right direction. Who am I? And it's going to be an effortless journey, I believe.